1 year ago today, in the early hours of the morning, Delmar Police Corporal Keith Heacook responded to a call of a fight in progress, and he was brutally attacked on the scene. He died 3 days later. It was an event that shook this community to our core, and it's a life lost that we will forever grieve.
Corporal Heacook left behind a son, Matthew, who was 12 at the time of his father's unexpected death. He sat down with Katie to reflect on the beloved life lost.
Yeah, Jimmy and Lisa, this is one brave young man. I mean, to have so much of your world shattered in an instant when you're only 12, it's unfathomable, and it certainly takes a great deal of courage to open up about the last year, and Matthew did that. And if this interview shows you anything, it's that this now 13-year-old loved his father dearly.
Like, it's just like, it feels like it happened like not so long ago. It doesn't feel like a year. It's already passed.
1 year since 13-year-old Matthew Heacook last saw, last talked to, last laughed with his father, Keith.
I wasn't good at soccer. Neither was he. He missed the ball, like trying to score it like 5 times.
The two had everything one might expect in a father-son relationship, starting with an appetite for adventure.
The ocean, and done the stupidest things, like when the tide is like really strong, just go out there with like the belly boards that you lay on and try to ride the waves, and you get pulled out into the ocean. We tied like a rope one time because I kept floating out and I was like 9, so he tied a rope to me. And like the rope wasn't that long, so we were getting flung around while tied to this rope.
Add to that a need for speed.
He test drove a truck. It was like a new truck and a new Corvette, and we test drove both of them. And the guy was like, "Are you interested?" He's like, "Yeah." And the price came out to be like $128,000, I think. He's like, "Yeah, that's doable."
And then there was the food.
Pizza, Popeyes, a lot of Popeyes.
Lots of Popeyes.
Lots of Popeyes. A lot of pizza, Delmar pizza.
Matthew preferred his father purchase food, not prepare it.
He couldn't cook a steak.
He couldn't cook a steak?
No. It'd be like over well done, black all around.
Matthew used to call him
interesting.
the dry star chef. You know, like there's a 5-star chef. He called Keith the dry star chef because he said everything he made was so dry.
Tracy West Nye is Matthew's mother. How did you get through eating those steaks?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think my teeth are a little wore down, but
Probably. Maybe Keith Heacook didn't have considerable culinary capabilities, but he was destined to be a dad.
Matthew was just his world. It was just his world. He used to say, "My boy," all the time. My boy. And I used to get upset because I was always like the disciplinarian. Like Keith would never discipline him. Like he just didn't have the heart to do it. So I always looked like the bad guy, and Keith was like the fun parent, you know, the good one.
The one who came to his baseball games and, well, tried his best to be a true fan.
he didn't know what he was talking about. Like he'd come to one of the games, and what is it? We were on the Nationals like last year for like Little League. What did he call the Nationals? It wasn't the Nationals to him. It was something else.
Oh yeah, he could never get the team names right. I don't remember what the Internationals he would call them. Yeah, and
Or then we'd be playing the Phillies and it'd be like cheering for the Phillies. And all the parents on that side would just be looking at him like, get to the other side of the field. Like you're
wrong
not
team.
welcome here.
He tried.
Matthew can't help but smile when sharing each and every one of these memories. They're what he has, and devastatingly, all he'll have of his father, taken from him too soon.
It was just like hard.
Last April, Corporal Keith Heacook of the Delmar Police Department was responding to a fight in progress and was brutally assaulted. He was pronounced dead days later. Do you ever struggle thinking about like how it happened and what happened?
Yeah. It's just like difficult to like think about.
Like, do you have like, I mean, I'm sure if it was me, I would be like, probably pretty like angry. Like, do you have like anger?
Yeah. Just like how it happened. It's just like, I don't know.
And even though there are bright and beautiful memories, Matthew, of course, has had hard and dark days. And Jimmy, Lisa, up next, of course, we're going to talk about his grief process. And what you won't be surprised to find out is that the community has come through for this kid big time.
That's wonderful. I will never forget the sight of his police cruiser with all of the flowers and the notes and the show of support not long after his death.
After 22 years in the department, it's like everyone knew him.
Yeah.
So, yeah. There you go. Now, Marvel, I'll be right back.
He like cheered for the wrong team one time.
The precious love of a boy for his dad. 13-year-old Matthew Heacook lights up as he shares memories of his beloved father, Keith, killed 1 year ago in the line of duty. Of course, the last year for this young man has been anything but easy. He's had to navigate a new normal that no child should. When you got the word that it was official, what was that like for you?
Like, it was just like hard to believe. Like, I don't really know. I don't know.
He pretty much just crumpled into a ball and cried.
The unthinkable, the unimaginable, the unfathomable for a then 12-year-old. His father killed in the cruelest of ways.
You couldn't like believe it. I don't really know. That's just about it. I don't know how to explain it.
Sometimes there just aren't words for tragedies like these. Too much has been taken. Matthew was faced with attention from every angle in the days and weeks following his father's death, making an already devastating situation even more difficult.
It was just like kind of annoying, I guess you could say, because you were trying to like figure out what was really going on, but like everybody wants you in that one place.
You met some wonderful people, though. I mean, truly, like I said, I can't say enough about this community for securing his future, and definitely something I couldn't do on my own, you know, without Keith. So, I mean, they've all been wonderful and still are to this day.
Because of the community's generous giving, Matthew now has a trust fund for his future.
I think it was nice of them because it's just like it showed how much they cared about like their town and their people.
And how much they loved your father.
Yeah.
Did you know that he was so like well loved?
Yeah, he was like a nice cop. Yeah.
People have come up to us and say, look, you know, your father arrested me and, you know, he put me on the right path and, you know, did wonderful things for my son or my children and just put them on the right path. And that was Keith. I mean, he wanted to set you straight. So, you know, he would have done anything, especially for kids, you know, to help them or put them on the right path or, you know, talk to them. And he was really good. He was really wonderful.
Community members showed support in other ways, too. Someone made Matthew a pillow with one of his father's uniform shirts.
Matthew laughs because he's like, look, Mom, there's a food stain on it. Yeah. You know, like, that was Keith.
He spilled coffee all over himself when he was on duty one time. Then he got a call like 2 minutes later, so he came in soaking wet with coffee all over him.
Are you serious?
They were more distracted on what he looked like than the actual problem. This one was a sketch that someone sent us. It's cool, I like it, because it's almost identical.
Matthew keeps these photos of his father in his room.
This one I made for him for Father's Day.
He's also made a memorial of sorts that sits right next to his bed. It's a loss he's coping with every single day.
I don't know, it's just like something that you just learn to live with. I don't really know how to explain it.
Do you ever have hard days?
Yeah. It's just like difficult to deal with sometimes.
Does it just hit you sometimes?
Yeah.
And how do you get through those?
And just like live through it, I guess. Like you just eventually get over it. It just doesn't like, you can't just like make it go away, it just eventually does.
I can usually tell when he's feeling it. He gets very quiet and, you know, very angry sometimes, but he's done quite well for the most part.
How do you keep his memory alive in the last year or so?
I don't really know. It's just like kind of there, but.
We talk about things and, different, we don't talk about the death per se, but we talk about different things that, you know, memories and stuff, or if we're in the car and we're like, oh yeah, remember that one time when your father did, you know, what, and we'd laugh. So I think that keeps Matthew going, and, you know, we have fun with it.
Like the time Keith bought his son a go-kart for Christmas, and let's just say he got the wrong size.
It was like 5 times too small. Like I'm sitting in it and I'm like this.
But he was so
like
excited
the
to give
cheapest. It was like the cheapest one in Walmart, so it had no shocks on it. So like I'm in the backyard and his backyard's bumpy, and we made like a trail that had like lumps over it, and I had a whole bunch of twigs and like sticks and stuff, like logs and roots that from trees that were just sticking out. I think I flipped it once.
Keith Heacook may have held the rank of corporal with the Delmar PD, but for Matthew, it's clear the title of Dad is better than any badge. In the last year, like, what would you say that you've missed the most?
Probably just spending time with him, doing the dumb things that we always did.
I asked Matthew if he could have one more day with his father, what he'd do. He said probably go to the beach or go fishing, even though neither one of them ever caught a fish. It's just it's so evident that in this process for him, the memories have been so important in talking to him. He really does, you know, light up when he talks about just the dad-son things they did together. Just special.
It's a unique bond.
Yes.
Very.